Interesting. Tehillah, I should say, or Psalm chapter 16, verse 10. For you will not leave my whole self, my soul, my nefesh, in the grave, Sheol, which basically just means the grave, nor will you allow your hasid, which means faithful one, to see corruption. So you won't leave my whole self in the grave, nor will you allow your faithful one to see corruption. You won't leave my whole self in the grave. So I'll be in the grave, but you won't leave me there. Interesting. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 16. Yahweh, who alone has immortality. So only Yahweh has immortality. Nobody else is immortal. So when we die, we just cease to be. He's the only one who's immortal. Nobody else is immortal. No one. Not even Yeshua, according to this verse. Yahweh, who alone has immortality, dwelling in unapproachable light, whom no one has seen, nor is able to see, to whom is honor and power throughout the age. Amen. Which means definitely, certainly, this is absolutely true. That's quite a statement. Interesting. So, again and again, Scripture seems to be referring to death as sleep. What do you do when you're asleep? Well, sometimes you dream, but otherwise what do? You just lay there. You're not doing anything. You're not even... no thoughts that you can think of. No memories. Nothing. You're just sleeping. And then it's also talking about how Dawid hasn't gone to heaven, so... and even after Yeshua rose from the dead, so after Yeshua rose from the dead, he hasn't even gone to heaven. Interesting. But then it's talking about how, even though someone will be in the grave, they'll come back. They won't be left in the grave. Interesting. Let's go on. Now this is a quote from Yochanan, or John, chapter 11, verse 11. Oops. Our friend Elazar, otherwise known as Lazarus, sleeps. As Elazar means he whom El helps. El is the word for the Almighty, the powerful authority, most powerful authority. But our friend Elazar sleeps, but I'm going so I can wake him up out of sleep. Speaking to his Talmudim, his students, his disciples. Then in Yochanan chapter 11, verse 14, it says, Then Yeshua said to them plainly, Elazar is dead. So first he's referring to Elazar as sleeping, and then he's referring to him as dead. In Mark, or Maccabi, chapter 5, verses 39 through 40, it says, And when he had come in, he said to them, Why are all of you so distressed and weeping? The girl isn't dead, but asleep. And they laughed at him derisively. They were like, yeah, whatever. She's dead. Hello. Now, I think that they were probably aware that death was often referred to as sleep. But then Yeshua's saying, well, she's only sleeping. She's not even really dead. So they're laughing at him because they're like, what are you talking about? Going on, in Matthew chapter 27, verse 52, it says, And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept rose. The saints are righteous ones, tzaddik ones, the ones who walked according to Yahweh. So they rose. They came back to life, but they were sleeping. So they had been sleeping, but they rose. Interesting. Yeshayahu, or Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 19, says this, Your dead will come back to life. Your corpses will rise up. Wake up and shout joyfully, you who are settled and waiting in the ground, because you will grow like plants drenched with the morning dew, and the earth will bring forth its dead. Well, there I think it's stating pretty plainly in the Tanakh, what's commonly called the Old Testament, that the dead will come back to life, and the corpses will rise up, and the earth will bring forth its dead. The earth of the land. So, pretty much whoever is buried in land is going to be brought back to life. I think that might be able to include people that are, say, cremated or died in some other way. Anyways, let's go on. Yohanan, or John, chapter 5, verses 28 through 30, says this: "Don't be amazed at this, for the time or hour is coming when all that are in graves will hear his voice." So all that are in graves, seeming to mean everyone who's died. Everyone who's died. All who are in the graves will hear his voice and come forward. The ones who have done what is good to the resurrection resulting in life, and the ones who have done what is wrong to the resurrection resulting in judgment to restore life. That's mishpat. It means to judge, to decide what to do with someone, to restore their life and bring them to a place of health and wholeness and goodness and uprightness. "I can do nothing on my own initiative. Just as I hear, I judge, make decisions. And my judgment or decision is just, because I don't seek my own will, but the will of the one who sent me." So Yeshua is saying that he's not seeking his own will, he's seeking the one who sent him. Well, who sent him? The Father, Yahweh. So he's seeking to do Yahweh's will. So the whole time he was here, he wasn't seeking to do what he thought was right, he was seeking to do what Yahweh said was right. Very interesting. So, I'm going to continue this in the next video, but just to kind of go over what I've gone through so far. When the dead die, it's like they're asleep. They don't know anything, they're not doing anything. Okay? At some point, they'll be woken up, and they'll come forth from the ground. Interesting, interesting. And then, no one's gone to heaven. The dead, it's like they're asleep. But at some point, they're going to be woken up. And there's going to be a resurrection, one to life, where you're not getting decided on. You've already gotten that taken care of. You've already gone through any kind of difficulties, any kind of refinement. So now everything is good. Interesting. Okay, I have to stop now because I am going over my time. Hopefully this will load, but shalom, have a good life, and hopefully maybe you'll even stay for the next video for my eulogy. Goodbye.